This is the Leitmotif and Movement Podcast, a father and son's journey into the vast worlds of music. I am your host, Mike Ficklin. Joining me on this epic musical journey is my son,
Michael Ficklin.
This show is dedicated to the discussion of music and introducing Michael to music from the past and present. We will mainly be discussing the genres of rock, hard rock, and heavy metal. We will also, from time to time, dive into film and video game scores, and we'll sprinkle in some surprises along the way. And today, we are bringing you a very special bonus episode. This is our second bonus episode, and we are going to be covering the brand new release from Am I in Trouble, titled Spectrum. The record was released on January 3rd, 2025, and can be purchased from the band's Bandcamp page in digital, limited edition cassette tape, or limited edition vinyl formats. A little bit of background on the record. The goals with Spectrum were to pay homage to the avant-garde black metal that developed and thrived in the late 90s and early 2000s. Bands like Arcturus, Borknagar, Psy, Solefald, Thicatafalque, and Ventersorg. I wanted to borrow elements from their sounds to some extent, but also just create something that approached music specifically similarly. This attempt to break from conventions and expectations. So many metal albums focus entirely on emotions like anger, rage, sadness. These emotions are present in Spectrum, but they're not the only emotions reflected in the album. And with that, we are going to go ahead and dive into our track-by-track analysis. We open up Spectrum with Yellow. Michael, what do you have on this one?
It kind of has, when I was listening to this, it had like a circusy sounding opener. It sounds like a circus or something close to that, like a fair.
Yeah, it's like a bit of an overture, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Yellow, to me, is a really pretty musical overture to open the album. I love the combination of the acoustic guitar, the strings, and flute to open the song. It then opens up into what almost sounds like a celebratory march before returning to the dreamy, gorgeous opening melody. Love it. According to songwriter and primary member of the band, Steve Weiner, Yellow is an inverted tribute to the classic black metal instrumental album opener. So many extreme metal albums start with these menacing, malevolent, dramatic orchestral openers that are dark and foreboding. I wanted to create a similarly grandiose opener, but instead of dark and foreboding, make it joyful and celebratory. Does that change anything for you, Michael?
I still get the fair circus feeling from this song in particular.
Did you like the song?
It kind of grew on me. I didn't really like it at the beginning.
No?
No. But I kind of like it now.
All right. Anything else to say on this before we move on to track 2?
Nope.
All right. So we'll move to track number 2. This is White. Michael, what do you got on this one?
I like how it opens up. I also just like how it just carries on the full like instrumental until like towards the middle of the song, and then it just picks up.
Yeah. Again, we open up the song with this combination of flute, strings, and acoustic guitar, and it's really gorgeous, and it plucks at my heartstrings. Let me kind of get into a more traditional heavy metal sound.
Yeah.
The electric guitars and drums accompanied by a choir singing along.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes the song feel really epic, doesn't it?
I couldn't think of what to call the background sound for most of this song.
Are you talking about like the choir?
Yeah, choir.
Yeah. I really love the clean vocal melody and delivery through the verses.
Yeah.
The guitar work is fantastic, and I enjoy the tone from them.
The choir kind of mixes in with the instruments as some
Yeah,
might
it
realize.
does. It's kind of back there, kind of like a ethereal sort of thing.
It's kind of like just connecting together.
Yeah, exactly. It flows together really well, doesn't it? Yeah, it goes into a heavier sound for the chorus with the harsh screaming vocals. It's an excellent song to bang your head to. It's very diverse in terms of sound. I mean, seamlessly transitioning between more mellow sounds into heavier sections. It's a really outstanding song. I like this one a lot. According to Steven, White leans more epic, aiming for the folk-tinged drama that bands like Borknagar, Agalok, Early Ulver, Vintersong have achieved. Lyrically, it's a personal, grounded, hopeful song about moving on after setbacks. Does that change anything about this song for you?
Not really. I like the song because I like the mixing with sounds in it.
Yeah, it's extremely well done. Anything else to say on White?
Nope.
All right, so we'll move on to track number 3. This is Pink. Michael, what do you got on this one?
I like how it opens up with that piano or whatever that instrument is. And
then, it's a piano.
And then it moves into just heavy metal. It's an immediate jump, basically. You go from slow piano then to heavy metal.
Right. It's an attack.
Yeah.
Attack on your ear holes. Yeah, we open with that pretty little piano melody before it just brings the heavy, man. This song is like an all-out metal assault on the senses, blistering drums and harsh vocals. We get into a more melodic sound as we get into the chorus, featuring a clean background chorus. The song closes with the sound of chaos and cacophony. You want hard? This song goes hard as hell. According to Steven, Pink gradually ups the ante from White in terms of aggression, while dialing back the more serious, grounded lyrical subject matter in exchange for lyrics written by his wife about Kirby. Musically, it follows the arc of many Kirby games. The setting opens with Kirby peacefully taking a nap, him being woken from his slumber by a tumultuous event, him subsequently wandering through the land indiscriminately devouring anyone and anything that gets in his way. The drone of the bridge represents the dark abyss of being digested by Kirby.
Okay.
And the return to the harp and acoustic guitar at the end symbolizes his return to sleep. My wife saw a level of brutality in Kirby's whole concept that never occurred to me. This entire idea that he just swallows others whole and not only devours them, but also steals their identity. When you view it that way, it is pretty damn brutal and pretty damn metal. I completely agree when you look at it from that standpoint, Steve. You got anything else on this one?
No.
No? I see you chuckling over there, though. I assume you know who Kirby is.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we will move on to track number 4. This is Red. Michael, what do you got on Red?
I like the opening. Is that like guitar string? Like you hear the guitar, electric guitar just stringing one note, and then it moves into that heavy metal, and then screaming with it, and then I don't know if it's towards the middle or not, but where it kind of has that like back and forth echo type thing. I really like that.
Yeah, it's a very cool section of the song. Yeah, Into the Heavy again to open this song. It's an absolute chaotic wall of metal sound complete with harsh vocals. Then we get into what I would describe as a very Opeth-like transition into a more melodic section with clean vocals. The middle bridge section goes hard as hell and makes me stomp my foot and bang my head. Then the song stops for a few moments before transitioning to another new piece of the song. It's full of Iron Maiden sounding guitar work. This is my favorite song on the record by far. It's incredibly diverse. Michael Ackerfeld would be proud of this one. Do you see or hear the Opeth influences in this one?
Kinda. I could see it, but also I haven't listened to that much Opeth.
That's true. You're not as familiar with the older Opeth material, where they were really a kind of a progressive death metal. We'll have to fix that situation for you. So according to Steven, Red was the first single released by Am I in Trouble. The difference with the Spectrum edition is a number of guitar parts were re-recorded and improved. I did a new mix of the song as compared to the original single version, and a new master was completed by Eric Peabody. The original single was mastered by me. Red continues the arc upward in terms of aggression and leans into the weird, off-kilter stylings of bands like Code and Vedwin's End. It's a song about biology, about humans living and dying, and all the little microbes that continue the cycle of life and death. A metal song about death, minus the same flavor of brutality and darkness. Michael, do you got anything else to say on Red?
Nope.
All right. So, moving right along to track number 5. This is Blue. Michael, what do you got on this one?
I like how it just I like the guitar like solo throughout the whole entire song. I forget where it's probably towards the middle where it with that like crazy guitar
Yeah, the guitar solo there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing melts your face.
And then towards the end you get into drums and guitar, it sounds like.
Yeah, the music to this song, in my opinion, has a really poppy sort of sensibility to it. It's very melodic with great guitar hooks. It's kind of reminiscent of like a meld of Coheed and Cambria with Iron Maiden. There's like Michael mentioned, there's a face-melting guitar solo towards the halfway point. It's outstanding. I really enjoy the quiet breakdown before we get into that sludgy, slower, heavier section that closes out the song. I enjoy the use of the synthesizer making the laser sounds. It kind of harkens back to rock music of the 70s and 80s. Fantastic musical interlude. I love this song. According to Steven, after Red's dark, otherworldly ending, Blue exists to shift gears into something more straightforward and rocking. It's equal parts inspired by Gallows' gallery-era Psy and the song Big Blue from the video game F-Zero. I wanted the song to feel like a sweeping journey through a variety of little worlds. Steven, I think you accomplished that, sir. Michael, do you got anything else on Blue before we move on to the next track?
Oh.
All right. So, the next track is track 6. This is Black. Michael, what do you have on this one?
The way it opens up, for some reason, I'm thinking of another band that it kind of sounded like. I can't think. Like the opening with the guitar. I think it's guitar.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's It reminds you of another band you listen to?
Yeah. I and then it gets into that like clean vocal quiet section that mixes in with the instruments, and then you go straight into a heavy metal, and then it perfect.
Yeah, the opening moments through the first verse are quite melodic and laid back. It's very ethereal with clean vocals before giving way to the harsh vocals. And the seamless transition between the clean vocals and harsh is very well done. There's a dark beauty to this song, I feel like. The vocal performance really stands out for me on the song. We get treated to a very Opeth-like guitar solo towards the end of the song before going into this beautiful melodic breakdown. It reminds me of the sort of music you would hear in a film or game when you come across something beautiful and wondrous. Excellent melodic guitar and vocal work to close the song out. Yeah, this is an outstanding song.
I just thought of the band it reminded me of.
Oh, yeah?
It reminds me of 36 Crazy Fist.
Yeah, a bit. I can see that. Is there a particular song that makes you think of?
I can't think of the song right now.
Okay. So according to Steven, Black dips back into similar musical territory of White, but where White is ultimately a sad song that resolves into hope, Black is a song about giving up. It's bleak, despondent, a song about memory loss caused by untreated trauma. Michael, you got anything else on Black?
Nope.
Okay. So we will move into the final track on Spectrum. This is track number 7, and it is titled Green. Michael, what do you have on this one?
I feel this is very beautiful. Beautiful. It's kind of like reaching a point of in a game, like the camera pans out and you see like a big horizon or something like that.
Yeah. I totally get that vibe.
It's just beautiful. Beautiful.
I agree. Completely agree. Yeah, we're greeted with this melodic acoustic outro song. The addition of the strings and the flute gives the song a lot of warmth. The song feels like the closing moments to a film or a game, like what you were saying. It even kind of reminds me of the sort of gorgeous musical composition that Nobuo Uematsu might do for a town theme in one of the Final Fantasy games. Like, for example, Ahead on Our Way from Final Fantasy VII. It's a beautiful way to close out the record.
Yes,
absolutely
definitely.
Gorgeous song.
I feel like we're bouncing around a whole bunch. We go from like beautiful sounds and stuff, and then heavy metal song, and then beautiful sounds, heavy metal song. I feel it flowed together pretty nicely.
Yeah, he does a really good job of transitioning back and forth between the harsh and the cleaner sounds, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, it gives the album on a whole a very nice diversity, right? Lots of different sounds, lots of different inspirations.
100%. But I really like Green. It's probably in my top 3.
Oh yeah? So let's hear the top 3 songs on the record for you then.
Alright, so Green is 3rd, White is 2nd, and I think I'm going to have to go with Blue for the 1st.
Wow. I kind of thought maybe Red might sneak in there for you.
I was debating, but I like Blue a lot.
Okay. Awesome.
Because of the guitar solo and all the show off.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you really cannot go wrong with any part of this album. The entire album is really, really good. This actually makes my ongoing list of favorite albums of 2025. I'm sure it's going to wind up in the conversation for like my top 5 at the end of the year. This is a really, really solid record. Michael, let's get your overall thoughts on the record and your rating out of 5.
I am going to give this a 5. And I really enjoyed this record. I really like the diversity with all the music, and also it's just eventful. It feels like, because you're unexpecting of what's gonna come next.
It's a real treat to listen to. It's a real
Yeah.
pleasure to listen to. One of those albums that you can keep revisiting because it's so diverse.
Yes, it's very diverse. I thought it was gonna be like a more melodic album just from listening from the first track. I was proven wrong.
It's always nice to be pleasantly surprised by something.
Funny story. I was in the car with grandma, my grandma, and this yellow had turned on, and my grandma was so confused. Very confused.
I'm guessing it wasn't Grandma's cup of tea.
No. She was confused because of us listening to it. She was not expecting us to listen to, like, the type of music that Yellow had came out with.
Oh, well. To each their own. Yeah, for me, my final thoughts on the record, I don't think there are enough superlatives for me to describe just how much I love this record. It's an amazing musical journey from start to finish. It feels huge and sweeping in scope. Musically, the album is so diverse. It feels right at home with other prog metal loves of mine like Opeth, Nea Obliviscaris, and Be'lakor. I can't recommend this record highly enough. If you haven't heard it yet, go over to Am I in Trouble's Bandcamp and buy a digital or physical version. Then grab your best headphones and sit back and enjoy the amazing, expansive journey that is Spectrum.
Yeah,
I'm giving this 5 out of 5.
Yes, definitely.
So that takes us to our question for the audience. What is your favorite track on Spectrum and why? And with that said, we do want to hear from you. We will read your emails and messages on the show. We have only one request. Keep them clean. There are several ways to contact us. You can email us at lightmovepod@gmail.com. You can also reach us on several social media platforms such as Facebook, Blue Sky, Instagram, and Threads. Details on how to connect with us are in the show notes. We are now part of the SPDM Crew Podcast Network. Check out all the podcasts on the network by visiting spdmcrew.com.
If you liked the show, subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting platform and share with your friends and family. We are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and a variety of other platforms. We are also on YouTube. Can't find us on your chosen platform? Shoot us a message and let us know. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. This helps us to be found in the algorithm. Make them good and we'll read them on the air. Are you in a band and you'd like for us to check you out and possibly drop a recommendation on the show? Shoot us a message. We'd love to check you out and give you a shout.
We'd like to thank you very much for listening to the Leitmotif and Movement podcast. Take care and enjoy music.